Hello everyone, this is Gene and I'm back with another video. So I'm doing another video on the new Warriors, but in a different way. And before I start the video, first of all, I'd like to thanks everyone for tuning in and watching the videos. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. I've been seeing a lot of conversation in the comments. So thank you all so much. I just got a new subscriber, so thank you to that person too. I think it's Kirk or Kurt, Hada or Kata, something like that. I apologize if I'm butchering your name. So whether you've been here from the beginning or you're new, I thank you for taking your time out of your day to hear what I have to say or rant about, and I hope that you continue to enjoy the content. So, I'm actually going to be doing new Warriors content for the next few videos, but in a different way. It's actually going to be in a positive way, and here's why. So many people are roasting the ever living hell out of the new Warriors. Everybody's covering it. Even channels that don't cover comics are covering this. Leanna K did a video. Sargon's done a video. Uh, the Critical Drinker's done a video. Tim Pool, Mr. All News Every Day, has done a video about this. So I wanted to approach it in a different way, right? Especially since, the what's being roasted is the incestuous Technicolor couple here, but also what's being roasted are the designs and the story. So I asked myself, what if I made the new Warriors? What would they be like? How would I create these characters? And this was actually inspired by a question I received on one of my videos, I think from Simon. I think Simon asked me, said I think it was Simon Barrett. I could be wrong. I apologize if I am. But someone asked me basically like what I would do with screen time. And I wrote a quick answer about how screen time has rich parents, is a lonely kid, is looking for a connection, and the visor malfunctions and now his brain is like downloaded onto the internet. So I kept thinking about it and I kept thinking about it and I was like, well, what about the other characters? So I started to sort of fixate on this and sort of just let my imagination run wild, as it were. So what I decided to do was to make a video going over my version, what I would do if I were making the new Warriors. But of course, as my video projects often do, they sort of they become bigger than what I originally anticipated. So what I decided was I would break up each video. I would make a video focusing on each character. That way it's very focused, very zoomed in, and you guys can decide, if you want to hear about what I would do with Trailblazer, or the incestuous twins, or the vampire boy, or any of these characters in the new Warriors. So I'm gonna make a video about each one: Trailblazer, screen time, B negative, and then of course the two that everybody's roasting, safe space and snowflake. So I'm gonna make a video for each one, and then you guys can tell me what you like about my ideas, what you may dislike, or what you would do. So it's kind of like a creative thinking, brainstorming type of exercise. So this is what I would do, right? So I'm gonna start off with Trailblazer, right? So Trailblazer, right? The artist is Luciano Vecchio. So this is what she looks like currently, right? The way he designed her. And according to the official Marvel page introducing the new Warriors, Trailblazers, I guess synopsis or bio, if you want to call it that, excuse me, is as follows. So it says, a regular kid scooped up into the world of teenage superheroing. Her magic backpack is actually a pocket dimension with seemingly infinite space, from which she can pull useful or random objects. It's not always under her control. She claims to get her power from God, but not the God you're thinking of. She's a group home and foster kid who is volunteering at a senior center when this mysterious threat shows up and Night Thrasher runs to the rescue. Describe, I believe that would be Daniel Kittlesmith, who's writing the book, adds. And because she helps him, she ends up in the crosshairs of this new outlawed law. Trailblazer wants to help people, but she doesn't think of herself as a superhero yet, Kibblesmith concludes. The Marvel Universe is a reflection of our own, and when a new law gets put into place, it affects people in unforeseen ways, right? So this is how Kibblesmith and Vecchio envision the character, right? So drawing a little bit from their vision and incorporating a lot of mine, here is my take on the character I have deemed Bianca Owens, in my own head, Trailblazer, right? So she's got the look. It's a music pun. I can't help myself. Right, so this is Trailblazer, who I have named, at least in this case, Bianca Owens. So, reason for the name is Bianca comes from Bianca Belair, who is a big influence on the character, or at least my version of her. And then Owens comes from Jesse Owens, right, who was a track and field athlete who won Olympic gold in Nazi Germany in 1936. You're going to see a lot of sports references in my character designs. I can't help it. Sports has a huge influence on me, okay? So here's how Trailblazer looks currently, right? Here's how Bianca looks currently. Here's the way I would design her, right? So here's the thing. Her look would basically be a blend between Bianca Belair and Pocahontas. Right? So she would be like stunningly beautiful, and she would have certain things like Bianca's long hair, the long braided hair, right? They both have these, there's a lot of focus on the eyes, these very prominent ruby red lips. So face-wise, right, visuals, that's what she would look like. This blend between Pocahontas or at least Disney's take on Pocahontas and Bianca Belair. I would make her look like stunningly beautiful, right? She'd be one of those teenage girls who's like 14, but she looks like she's 18. And that would probably be a theme I would explore with her, right? The way people judge you based on your appearance. And I think I'd make it so that when people like showed attention to her in like a romantic way, right? Or in a sexual way, she doesn't know how to handle it, right? Because it's people assuming she's older than she really is. And I will admit that probably be part of probably me reaching back to my own childhood experiences and teenagehood. Especially that one time an 18-year-old boy would not stop pestering me for a date until I literally had to pull my ID out and show him I'm 14. So I think definitely that would be a theme if I could actually, write a continuing story with her that I would explore, right? How people judge you and treat you when your appearance and your age and who you actually are do not match, right? When your appearance is not an accurate reflection of who you actually are. So there's that. Then there's the body, right? I love sports, and of course this character is named Trailblazer, right? So when I think of someone who's a trailblazer, I think of someone who is athletic. So I would give her like a sprinter's body, someone who does track and field, someone who does hurdles, right? Stuff like that. So a build similar to this, right? Very fit and lean, right? And muscular, but not overly so. And then that also harkens back to her visual inspirations, right? Disney's Pocahontas was very tall, very athletic. Bianca Belair herself is very tall, very athletic, very muscular. So it harkens to that, but as a visual, right? So it'd be something similar to this. but with particular emphasis in the art on the legs, because again, I'm thinking of a Trailblazer, right? And I know I read one article where what's his face, where Kibblesmith says that she's supposed to like run into danger and run into battle, right? So I'm thinking, okay, hiking, trails, running. So there needs to be emphasis visually on her legs, right? Giving her very, very strong, fit legs. Chun-Li would know something about this, right? And then there's the style, right? Her clothing, how that would look. So there's that. Oh, I should mention that in my version, given her visual inspirations, the character would probably be biracial, half black, half American Indian. Now before someone shouts, "Gene, you are playing to yourself here." No, I am not. It's because her visual inspirations are a black woman and Disney's interpretation of a Native American woman. It's got nothing to do with me. I never said she was from New York City. I would actually do something different. I don't know where she'd be from yet, but it would not be New York. Probably some place where there's a lot of trails. So probably some place in the country where like walking, traveling trails would be a common thing. I'd have to focus a little bit more on that. This is sort of like, brainstorming off the top of my head type of thing. But anyway, the style. Right? So given that she's athletic and that in my version of her, she would be an avid hiker. So she would dress like a hiker, right? Or, as I like to call it, the Michelle Chang look, right? But really, seriously, right? There would be a lot of, boots and earth tones, reds, browns, jackets, blues, stuff like that. She would have this very rugged, right? This sort of rugged look, but that isn't too rough. This is the best way that I can put it, right? Something like this, where we're still cute and kind of feminine, but there is this rugged earthiness to it, given that she's an athlete and an avid hiker in my version. So there's that, right? So there's the inspiration for her sense of style, be it her superhero look or her casual, regular style of dress. So now we have the story, right? How does her story start? Well, here's the thing. She'd be hiking one day, and before I start, let me say that I actually do like some parts of the bio Kibblesmith gave her like, okay, being a foster kid, being in a group home. Okay, that's an interesting origin. You can make a story out of her, trying to find out who her parents really are, right? Stuff like that, and also the fact that she helps out at the senior center, right, sort of gives you an idea that she's most likely a good person. So those elements of the story or of the bio that he wrote, I would actually keep, right? The references to religion, I would get rid of. I don't see how it impacts the story at this point, so I would get rid of that. So that's that. Here's how I would do the story. As I said, she would be just, hiking one day. She would get lost on the trail. And as she's trying to either find her way back or find her way to civilization, she happens across a backpack. Well, being the good-hearted person she is, she starts looking through the backpack, hoping to find some form of ID or contact information so she can contact the person who owns the backpack. Because her assumption would be, oh, someone got lost too. Let me try to find something, something inside here that might tell me who they are so I can contact them and give them their backpack back. And she would search through it and find nothing. And she would get kind of frustrated and keep looking and find nothing. And then she would finally open the center part, right, the main part of the backpack, And then when she sticks her arm in, right, trying to grab around and see if there's a discarded ID or something, the backpack would suddenly come alive and basically go all Kirby on her, and it would swallow her and thrust her into another, I wouldn't say dimension per se, at least not yet, but definitely to another place. It would basically thrust her to wherever Night Thrasher is, and she would get involved in whatever Night Thrasher is doing. You know, he would save her, protect her, and that's sort of how, you know, she would get involved in this greater scheme, right? The outlaw law and whatnot, right? So that's basically how I would start her story, right? She's just having a regular hike. She finds a backpack. The backpack is really Kirby, and then the backpack throws her right into what's his face, Night Thrasher's path. So that's how I would do. That's the way I would craft the character and craft the story, at least after an afternoon of brainstorming. So please let me know what you think. Let me know if you like my version, if you prefer Kittlesmith's version, and I will be back with. I think the next one I'm gonna do is screen time. So I'll be back with the video on screen time. I hope you guys enjoy this one, and I will see you all around. Okay? Have fun wherever you are. Stay safe, and I'll see you around.